Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have to start the show off by wishing a big happy birthday to an important member of the Living Local 15 team, Adam Solarzik, who is our videographer and editor. The hard work and commitment he puts into the show behind the scenes is so appreciated, and the two of us have such a ball working together. So cheers to you, Adam. Thank you and happy birthday. We have a fantastic show for you today. First, in celebration of the 2023 Remarkable Woman of the Year contest presented by WANE 15, we kick off with a dynamic panel of women who lead businesses locally. We'll discuss their journeys, challenges, successes, and more. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Then it's Wealth Wednesday, where Foster Financial will help you choose your investment strategy and break it all down. And later, we'll explore popular golf equipment and hot items on the market. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Lasses and McKibben Law. WANE 15 recently awarded the 2023 Northeast Indiana Remarkable Woman of the Year to Monica Ralston. And here to discuss more about the empowerment of women are women who lead businesses locally and also sponsored this competition. We have Brittany Wilcher, who is the Director of Human Resources of Lasses, Stephanie Galentine, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Lasses, and Jennifer McKibben, who is the owner and founder of McKibben Law. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so this is an exciting time.
It is.
Women empowerment. We just came off of Women's History Month, and we announced the Remarkable Women of the Year, and you all were a part of that by sponsoring this competition. And so we wanted to have a conversation today, just really discussing women in business, because that's so important. And so let's just kind of start off by letting me know how you got your start in your company and really grew to the position that you're in. Let's start with you, Brittany.
Okay. I started at Lasses right out of high school. I was 18 and I started in a store. It was just supposed to be my part-time college job. I was actually in school for nursing and they offered me a management role, and I quickly realized that my passion lied in business, not in the medical field. So I switched my major, and I've taken on quite a few different roles over the years with Lasses, and I really fell in love with business and with the company that I work for. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Stephanie?
I started a little younger. I think I was 16. So I was in high school, also part-time cashier, and then also through college. And training and people was really my thing. So as I was in college, I got promoted, and then from there I just went into additional leadership roles.
Yeah, that's great. Jennifer, now you are a business owner, so share with me about that journey.
It's brand new, as you know, last year, so I don't have quite the experience in business that these ladies do, but I do have experience in my field, which is personal injury law. I've done that here in Fort Wayne for 17 years. Owning a business with a family and kids and a great husband, it's a lot, but it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And as you all have grown through each of your positions, I'm sure that you have had to overcome different obstacles, right? Not only just working and growing into leadership, but also being a female in male-driven fields, right? Male-led fields. And so share with me maybe an obstacle that you had to overcome just on your journey to leadership. Brittany?
I would say the one that stands out the most is just being my authentic self. Over the years, some of the feedback I've gotten from my supervisors, both men and women, have been some keywords are too emotional, too outspoken, that kind of thing. So for a while, I tried to water myself down, and I quickly learned that those keywords weren't negative at all. I'm passionate about what I do. So just finding the way to help others see that it's passion that's driving me. It's not emotion behind the decisions I make and the way that I talk to my team and, others, it's passion, and I want the best result for everybody possible. So.
Wow, that's incredible. Let me just follow up on that. How did you get to the point that you overcame those gender microaggressions, quite frankly? I mean, those key words and comments that you spoke of, how did you overcome them and become your authentic self?
I think it was just trial and error, honestly. Yeah. I tried to, like I said, tried to water it down a little bit and realized that wasn't working. And I think that as others got to know me more, they gained, they trusted me more. So they were able to authentically, they were able to tell that this was who I am authentically, and I'm willing to put the work in to back up my passion.
Yeah, that's good. I really like that. And Stephanie, what's something that you've had to overcome?
Well, thankfully, I've not been in a position to have any type of scenario where I feel like a man is overpowering the environment or something to that degree where I had to fight that battle. So I'm very thankful for that. I would say just being as young as I was and growing up, maybe certainly putting ego aside at times and not assuming that I knew everything, and being willing to be the student in the scenario regardless of who's in that room with me, but also not being so agreeable, being willing to push back and articulate my concern in a manner that was received for my intent, rather than maybe to Britt's point, like pulling those emotions in and crafting the message in a manner that all types of people can receive it as intended.
That's good. That is definitely something that you have to focus on to overcome. Jennifer, what is something for you?
I guess the biggest obstacle that I've probably faced as a female personal injury attorney in Fort Wayne is the concern that I have that people respect me or not. So it's like, how nice do I have to be all the time versus are people interacting with me on a personal level that I feel comfortable with? And just whether or not someone, cares about what I have to say. And that goes for like clients, lawyers, judges. I just want to make sure that my voice is being heard. And that's been a big obstacle, just being a now older lawyer, but when I was younger especially.
Yeah, so how did you find the source of that strength just to be strong in those conversations?
Took a lot of preparation. I always had to, I feel like, be more prepared than everybody else around me. I also had the strength of my family, who supported me through all of it. My parents live here and my husband. And so just, having that kind of, everybody needs like a good base.
Right.
A point of return is what I kind of like to call it, from the day-to-day, especially with how male-dominated my field is.
Yeah, having that strong foundation is important. So let's talk about the rise in women in careers, and as you all are in this leadership position, how you can help and mentor other women who seek higher roles. So can you share with me a little bit of how each of you kind of mentor females that work under you? Brittany?
Well, I would say it's just taking my experiences and, sharing how I overcame those challenges and working with them so that they can move through their careers in an authentic way as well. And not, if I see somebody watering themselves down or holding back, helping work through that with them so that they can, be who they are and tailor that in a way that they can lead others well too.
Yes, okay, that's good. And Stephanie?
I would say certainly be a good example myself, and then just planting seeds of encouragement and inspiration, and maybe make some suggestions, but then get out of their way. Because I think that if I did not have those gifts throughout my years, who knows what would have happened. But oftentimes someone just got out of my way and allowed me to go and do and be. So that's what I would do.
Yes, okay, good.
I just really try to instill confidence and self-esteem, build people up, make them feel better about themselves, make them feel better about what they're doing every day, and make them feel like they have a purpose. on a daily basis. And I've trained so many younger females over my years, and I was proud to be in that role.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And I'm just going to piggyback off of that question by really closing with, what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give a female that's watching right now, a woman who aspires to do more in their jobs, who aspire to have a bigger voice and to be confident in their roles? What advice would you give them? And it could be to them specifically, or maybe to your younger self, something that you wish someone would have told you. Okay, Brittany.
Absolutely, to just go for it. 90% of the time, you're going to be the one holding yourself back, and most of that's in your head. Just go after it, work for it, show up every day, and keep paving your own path, because nobody else is going to do that for you. You have to do it for yourself.
Yes, very good. Yeah. Stephanie?
I would say be patient. I think oftentimes we want things really fast, and the fruit is in the pause, right? And so I would certainly say be patient, be willing to earn your keep or get that time under your belt, because you're going to be better for that. And then to me or Brittany, I absolutely would say then go for it. When the opportunity's there, grab it, be prepared, be intentional with everything you do, and then just go for it. That you're there for a reason. God put you there, go do.
Yeah, that's good.
Mirroring both of them, the first thing that came to my mind was just do it. Take that leap.
Yeah.
You know, be somebody that people want to look up to, that ask for your advice at some point in your career. Just go for it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for talking with me and sharing this really sound advice. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And as they mentioned, the key is just to go for it, to have patience and trust the process. This was really great advice that we received today, and congratulations to the remarkable woman of 2023. And we'll be right back. This segment sponsored by Lasses and McKibben Law.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Today is Wealth Wednesday, and it is a special day because we get sound financial advice from Caleb Doan, who is the Vice President of Foster Financial. Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Okay, so today we are talking about investment strategy and really how people can evaluate the best way to go about deciding if they're conservative or a little bit more growth oriented, right? So share a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is something I've probably been asked, 15 times over the past year with just new clients coming in, because I think a lot of people thought, hey, I'm getting closer to retirement. I thought that my investments were relatively conservative, but in 2022, with the year that we had, their accounts might have gone down 10 or 15%.
Wow.
And so it's taken a lot of people, given them this opportunity to maybe reevaluate how risky or how, conservative their investment should be. And it's certainly a good time to take a look at that.
Okay, well, let's dive in. So first, what is the difference between the two? You have conservative and growth oriented or risky.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a spectrum of investment options, right? And on the more conservative side, typically you have investments that give you more of like a stated interest rate. So that's things like bonds and CDs and fixed annuities. And the idea is, hey, this CD is supposed to pay me 4%, every single year. And of course, when you have lower risk like that, there's kind of that lower return. You typically get that 4%.
Right.
But, ideally when the stock market goes down, this doesn't go down as much. And then on the other end of the side, typically you have, equities or stocks. So, hey, I'm a shareholder in Apple. And so I bought a share of Apple for $100, and a year later, hopefully it's $110 or something like that. And so the thing is, everyone typically has a mix of those two types of investments in their portfolio. And the main question is, hey, should I be invested a 60-40 mix one way or a 60-40 mix the other way? How should I actually be invested? And I think that's something that really needs to be custom to every client.
Right, and that is so true about diversifying your portfolio, having things that kind of flow on the conservative side. Therefore, you have that safety net, but then you can have a little bit more fun, right? And I like the term growth oriented because those accounts really do have potential to really grow in fun ways. So if someone comes in and they're like, Caleb, which one should I do? How do you advise them?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people have maybe a little bit of a misconception in that your age is the one factor that determines how growth oriented or how conservative your investment should be. And people typically think, hey, if I'm really close to retirement, I'm 65 years old, I need to be on the more conservative side. And that's certainly something to take into account is your age, but there's a variety of other factors to account for as well. Namely, how much you're going to rely on your investments in retirement, your other streams of income, whether it's Social Security or a pension. And so just making that decision based on your age is probably a mistake that we typically help people avoid.
Right.
And I'd say one of the examples I typically use is that you could be almost identical to your neighbor in sort of a financial perspective. Okay. So, let's say you're both the exact same age, you have the exact same amount saved for retirement, you have the exact same, monthly budget that you typically use, you need $5,000 a month or whatever it might be. But let's say you have a pension that pays $1,000 a month and your neighbor doesn't. You two should be invested very differently in terms of how growth oriented or how conservative you should be.
Okay.
And so it's something that should be custom to everyone.
Yeah, okay, so with that custom process, how do you determine that? So a new client comes in and they're like, okay, Caleb, I don't know which way, I think I may be more conservative, but maybe they're not. How do you assess that?
Yeah. So we actually have every client take a risk quiz that we have. And this risk quiz asks, probably 15 or so different questions. And some of them are more kind of fact-based, like, hey, what is your net worth? And then some of them are, more opinion-based, like, hey, if the market were to go down, this amount, how would you react? Would you want to sell immediately? Would you want to double down your investment? And so we kind of use this whole, arrangement of factors to actually determine, after this quiz, we think that you should be invested 55% in equities. And then we can present that to the client and let them know the rationale.
So tell me, has it ever been really crazy, like someone came in like, oh, I'm a risky investor, and then they take this quiz and they are not?
Yeah, no, that's certainly the case oftentimes. Or sometimes people will come in and they'll say, hey, I think my 401k is very conservative. And then, I'll take a look at it and say, hey, you're actually 90% in equities, kind of the growth-oriented side. And they say, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. And so it's certainly important to align and have a cohesive strategy around the investments and make sure it aligns with how risky somebody should actually be.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Caleb, for breaking that down. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, and as you heard, Foster Financial can help you determine your appropriate risk so that you can be set for financial success. It's best to contact them for your complimentary consultation. We'll have their website listed below, and we'll be right back. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Oh, just a little wide. Story of my life. Oh my gosh. All right, it's time for Best Reviews. I'm Gary Gelfand, and we're hanging out with Jacob right now. Jacob, all right, we've got to talk golf. I know you like the golf, so do I. It can get a little pricey.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me today. And yeah, a lot of people got into golf over the pandemic, a lot of beginners out there, and they're wondering as they go through, why are the prices stacking up on me so much? And it's pretty simple, outside of just getting on the course, which isn't cheap itself,
right?
You have all this equipment you need to get, you got all these different items you can add to your arsenal.
Yeah, you keep on going. All right, let's get into some gifts. I know Father's Day right around the corner, and I know that makes a great Father's Day gift, some of the stuff, right?
Absolutely, and they don't want the ties anymore, so it's about, the golf and their hobbies and all that stuff. And we've got a few really great options for them here. Number one, we've got this putting mat, which is our best of the best. It's from Perfect Practice, and you can get it off of Amazon in a couple days if you procrastinate a little bit in terms of getting your Father's Day gift.
Yeah.
But there's also some really other popular gifts out there, like the rangefinder.
Yeah, well, I just happen to have one right here. There you go. So the rangefinder, and it's kind of neat because it will hook onto your belt. and you can put it on your golf bag, things like that. What's the difference between this rangefinder, which obviously is a great gift, and what you've got? You've got also a watch that does it as well.
Absolutely. And they get you the same outcome, essentially. They'll tell you how far away from the hole you are, which is essential for anybody trying to level up their golf game.
Okay.
And fathers love this because it's kind of a splurge product that you normally wouldn't buy for yourself. They can get pretty pricey. Around your waist there, we got the best of the best. That'll come in more than $300. And what we have here is the golf watch.
Ooh.
And what's really, really cool about this is it'll tell you where you are away like everything else, but it'll also sense when you're on a golf course and then give you GPS readings to do that. And also, if you pair it with your smartphone, this particular model from Garmin, it will also even take into effect how much wind is in the air, how far you hit your driver, and help you make those decisions a lot quicker on the golf course.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so this one's right. So they basically do the same thing, but that one's just attached to you. You know, and you can golf with that on your wrist, obviously.
Absolutely, and the beginners love this one because there's really no learning curve to it. Once you set it up with your smartphone, it's good to go out of the packaging.
Love that. And also, we've got some golf balls too, right? Thanks for giving me. Oh, these are the Pro V1s. So they come from expensive golf balls all the way down to more affordable as well.
And that's the great thing about when you're buying products for a golfer is depending on where their skill level is, you can make the right purchase for them. And at BestReviews.com, we test all kinds of products, and we'll make the recommendation based off of, is this best for the beginner, is this best for the expert, and anywhere in between.
I love that. That's great. Great ideas. All right, let me putt one more before you tell us where to get all this kind of stuff. See if I can make one in here. I don't know. I missed that first one.
Well, to distract while you hit this one, I'll just say check us out at BestReviews.com. We test and review all kinds of products. We're guided by experts and our testing. Check us out, BestReviews.com.
Love it. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks for having me.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. For more information and to find more product reviews, go to our website, WANE.com. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can always catch up on segments of Living Local 15 on WANE.com and also by downloading the WANE app. And remember, it's never too late to live your best life, so start living it today. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.